Here we go. Hello, welcome everyone to the Tuesday night Habits of Health class. This evening we're going to be doing a couple of things. First off, we're going to be looking at the Habits of Health week 2. And what we're going to be talking about is chapter 3 in the Habits of Health. Tonight I have Carolyn Neilson, who is a certified health coach with us. And she has a special guest, and I will introduce her as well. Metzi Blankenship, is that right?
That's right.
Oh, good. I got it right. Thank you so much. Let me go ahead and drop off my screen here, and I've got Misty's before and after, and oh my goodness, it's crazy good. So, Misty, I'm going to bring this up. Can you see that right now?
Yes, I see it.
All right, good. Well, I did something right. So, hey, if you can take a couple of minutes and tell us about this, because, wow, there's definitely a difference there. And I can see that there's a super smile on your face.
Yes, I'm so excited. My sister and brother-in-law, they had recently lost quite a bit of weight or were losing weight. And I asked her, I said, what are you doing? And she told me that she was doing Take Shape for Life. And I said, I want in on this. So I talked to Carolyn, and we got started. And I started losing weight. And it seemed so easy for me to follow the plan, to eat 5 times a day. I think that's where I was failing before. Like, I would get so hungry before, eating. And then when you eat too much. But it was so easy for me to follow. The weight started coming off. In all this process, I've also reduced my blood pressure medicine. I was on blood pressure medicine, and I'm feeling so good. And I just want to tell everyone about it. That's why I've decided to be a health coach and try to help people to feel better and develop better habits. I know I've picked up a ton of better habits, like drinking the water. It's just now, it just comes natural. I want to drink my water and follow my plan because I feel so much better.
Good. Well, let me ask you a question then. I see the before and after picture with that. And how much weight did you lose?
55 pounds.
Wow. You really got to feel much better. I really don't see it. The 55 pounds, you carried it very well.
Well, thank you.
I can definitely see it through the face, and I can definitely see it in the wrists. And you're looking amazing though, but the smile, it's the glow that really sets this off. So that is very cool. And even, have you lost more since?
No, I've stayed about the same. I'm thinking about taking it on down some more. Okay. But I'm feeling really good about it, and that'll be next. That'll come up next.
Well, congratulations and welcome as a health coach too. So thank you for helping us get America healthy.
Thank you. I love it.
All right. Well, thank you for your story and coming in tonight. Okay, next we have Carolyn Neilson, who is going to do actually the presentation with our Habits of Health this evening. Carolyn, are you ready?
Yeah, just trying to get it up on the screen here. Let me make sure I got it the right way.
Okay.
Okay, so yes, here we go. And do the share screen. I'm not quite sure why this isn't, there we go.
Okay.
There we go. And there we go. Can everyone see that?
I can see the week 2.
Great. So we're right where we need to be. Well, my name's Carolyn Neilson. I am a certified health coach with Take Shape for Life. And this topic to me, motivation for change and the power of choice, is probably one of the most pivotal points to me as a health coach and a client. 4 years ago, I lost 100 pounds with Take Shape for Life. And I was a severe diabetic with a 400 blood sugar, and I had been on every diet known to man. And as I got healthy and lost weight, I decided myself to pay it forward and become a certified health coach. And it's really exciting to be able to pay it forward and help other people make the choice and choose optimal health. And so what we're getting this from, as Rick said, is chapter 3 in the habits of health. And chapters 3 and 4 literally were the foundation that really started me to make a lifelong change and not just another diet. So this is a really, really important that foundation that the whole habits of health are on. And I'm very passionate about it. Here's the resources, like we said, the Habits of Health and Living a Longer, Healthier Life and Workbook that we utilize in these classes. And I think they're very powerful for the healthy mind part of it. And I know that no actions that we take will happen unless they're a thought and a choice to begin with. So it's really important that you make these choices along the way, and something that you can build a foundation for a lifelong success and not just another diet. So the fundamental choice is where we always begin. Most of us have been raised to react to circumstances. We've been taught to believe that we can adopt a fundamental self-generating resolve that we can't. So, but in fact is we can take charge of our lives by realizing that no matter the circumstances, no matter the temptation, we can do what we know is right because we've taken a stand for choice we hold most important. And that right there is so powerful, because when a fundamental choice is the foundation by which all of our other choices we make. And when you have a resolve to get healthy and you make that your fundamental choice, all the primary and secondary choices will just come in line with that. And that's why when we begin our journey as health coaches with our clients, we always ask them, what is your why? Why do you want to lose weight? And for a lot of people, the choices are conflict driven. So we usually start out like I did as a diabetic. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose an arm, I'm going to lose a leg. My uncle lost his leg to diabetes. Or I have clients with high blood pressure, and the doctors told him, if you don't get this under control, you could have a heart attack. If you don't lose weight, something bad is going to happen to you. Or you go to try on an outfit and it doesn't fit. You lay on the bed, you suck in, you pray, it just won't zip up, and you feel really bad about the way you look. Or you have an event to go to and it really, really is important that you look good for that event, and nothing you have in your closet looks good. And you buy bigger sizes, it still doesn't look good. All of these are what we call conflict-driven motivation, or we're trying to solve a problem. And that's exactly what I spent 20 years doing. It's the diet yo-yo. We think in terms of trying to fix our bad health. It's what we're against. We don't want something to happen to us, so we want to lose weight so that thing doesn't happen. And this is actually the common cause of yo-yo diets. And I am so familiar with this because this is the thought process I went into every single January for many, many years. And the thought process that I had, and when I mention this to my clients, they can really relate, because I think a lot of people have this thought process. Okay, I can't stand myself. The doctors told me I need to lose weight. I have diabetes. I have high blood pressure. Whatever the issue is, I have got to go on a diet, and I've got to get this weight off, because if I don't, I will have a problem, or something will happen to me, or I need to fix my bad health, and I am going to do it. And you go into that with resolve to begin with. It's conflict driven. Okay, I'm going to suffer, and I'm going to get all this weight off. And in the back of your mind, you're thinking, so that I can eat whatever I want when I get skinny. Then I can go back to eating normal. That will put you in a yo-yo every time. So what we try to do, and what we would like for everyone to do, is something called desired outcome orientation. So instead of getting to the end point diet, losing weight, I want to weigh 150 pounds or I want to weigh 200 pounds, you look in terms of creating health, because when you create health in your life, there's no ending. Diets have a beginning and an ending, whereas creating optimal health is something that goes on and on. So now we're looking at what we're in for, long-term focus. the journey that we're going to be going on. And that's why having a health coach and reaching out and having a health community has been so powerful, like we have here, and the Habits of Health, because it surrounds you with people that are on this mission together. And it's really, really important to understand this. So let's look at the differences between problem solving and desired outcome. They're very, very different. If we've been on diets and failed, we've all done problem solving. So we are going to go on that diet. We're going to lose weight. We're going to lower our blood pressure or our blood sugar. We're going to fit into that dress. We're going to solve the problem. So then we go on the diet and we take action towards this. And we have a lot of resolve and we take these actions day after day. So after a while, we have to see our weight decrease. And decreasing your weight when you're obese or overweight is one of the main ways that you can see immediate health results. It happens quite quickly. And so you start to see your weight decrease and your health improve. And because of that, your problems start to improve. And you start to feel better about yourself. You start to have more energy. You want to get up and do more. You may even go to the doctor and the doctor says, hey, you're doing great. Your blood pressure's lower, your blood sugar's lower, your heart's doing better, your pants are starting to fall off. Whatever it is that meant something to you, the problem you're trying to solve starts to happen. Well, what happens with that, though, is if you haven't created a fundamental choice and understand the power of habits and goals and desires, you take less action. And you take less action because, hey, the problem is solved. I don't need to do what I was doing. I don't need to go to the gym, or I can go ahead and eat that piece of cake. And because you haven't created new habits, and because you don't understand that this is a journey of a lifetime, before you know it, those old habits have taken hold, and they're very easy to do, especially in the obesogenic society that we live in. We live in a society where there is food and bad food everywhere we go. You don't have to look far. And so your original behavior comes in, and the next thing you know, you've gained all the weight back. You feel horrible about yourself. You don't even want to try again. And then your health is worse. And not only does your health come back, but for me, every time I gained the weight back, it came back more than the original weight that I had to lose. So then I felt really bad about myself. And so then what do? You get enough gumption to go on another diet, take the action, and therefore you see the yo-yo. And this is all about problem solving. So,
Carolyn, I think this is the greatest part, because we've gone through, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
no, please.
This is the greatest part in the fact that you can identify what the oscillating problem is of yo-yo dieting, and we can now see this, and it comes forward, so you can see where we were, you and me, maybe, I don't know, I was. I'm identifying with this. I'm seeing myself, you see, and it gives you a false sense of security. I'm fixing things because I'm dieting. Mm-hmm. I'm suffering because I know I need to suffer.
Right.
I'm going to fix this because my doctor told me that I needed to do that. I needed to do something for my health. Hey, you know what? And then you see a little bit of results, 15, maybe 20 pounds, and you're feeling pretty good about yourself, patting yourself on the back. And then this comes into play, whereas your doctor goes, hey, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. So you keep suffering some more, and then you get to the point where you're tired of suffering, and you go back to your old habits. And the next time you see the doctor, what's he said? What did you do?
Oh, absolutely. Not only that, but in the back of your mind, didn't you always used to think, as soon as I get skinny, I can eat whatever I want again, like normal people? We all think that. And we think eating normal means a triple cheeseburger and fries dipped in tartar sauce and a large shake, right?
Yeah.
So, and I want to tell you a quick story that happened to me that really changed, that goes right along with this. Is about 3 months into the program, I had done well. I was on perfect plan, doing great, feeling great, blood sugar lowered. And my husband and I went to a party. And I ate off plan. It was the first time after 3 months of being quote unquote perfect. I don't like that word, but I was making good choices the whole time. And that night when I came home, I was so upset. And you know what my husband said? So what? Wake up in the morning and just get back on plan. And that week I ended up losing 5 pounds. And I realized that when you fall down, you don't have to cut your legs off if you scrape a knee. You just wake up, shake it off, and keep moving. And that's going towards a desired outcome as well. And so let's look at the desired outcome or the goal versus the oscillating pattern. This is the key right here. When you have a goal or a desired outcome, the first thing you want to do is you want to look at your current reality. And looking at your current reality is extremely important because you don't know where you're going until you know where you're at. There's no way to know what that is until you have a clear, honest reality check about what your current reality is. So for most of us, it means stepping on the scale for the first time. I mean, I was scale avoidance queen, okay? I would go to the doctor and start stripping down, and then I'd turn my head the other way. I didn't want to know. It scared me to death. I understand scale phobia, but we need to get a starting point so that you can really see where you're at and then know where you're going. So I like for when I do the structural tension and the goal and setting up goals with my clients, we don't have to go to the end. And what I mean by that is, I know, Rick, you lost like 130 pounds. And
Yep.
so you had a huge, audacious amount of weight to lose. I had to lose 100 pounds, and I have lots of clients that have 50 or more pounds to lose.
Right.
What I tell them is, let's not look at, okay, I'm going to lose 130 pounds, and then that's my goal. You might want to just set up the first 20-pound increment or the first 10-pound increment. And this is a really, really great way to take that first step without being overwhelmed. And Darren Hardy, who I just love the man, and he wrote a great book called The Compound Effect, which is an awesome book. And it goes right along with Dr. Anderson's thought process that you don't get overweight and heavy because you eat one triple cheeseburger. Hence, you don't get healthy by eating one salad either. It's the compound effect of all the months and years of the choices that you make. And so what he says is comparing it to 1,000 steps that you have to take to get to your goal. If you stand every day at the bottom of the step and look up at 1,000 steps you have to take, you'll turn away and you won't do anything. But if you just look at the first step and take the action and make that first step and do that every single day, before you know it, you'll turn around and you're 980 steps up, almost to your goal. So we want to set a goal, and then the most important thing is in between there, the action steps that you want to take. Because what's really important to realize about being successful in anything is success is not something that happens to you. Success is something that happens because of the actions that you take. So you can't just wish it away. You have to have an action plan with dates on the side. So what does this look like? And I want to go here to the choices that we're talking about. You've got the 3. We talked about the fundamental choice, and the fundamental choice is really important because your fundamental choice is the choice upon which all the other choices rest. And then you have the actions. That's your secondary choices, and the primary choice may be the first goal that you want to set. So if, for instance, if your fundamental choice is I choose optimal health and to live a healthy, active lifestyle for the rest of my life, you have fundamentally made a choice and made a fundamental or a foundational decision. That's where it all starts. Like building a house, you have to pour the foundation before you do the brick and mortar and anything else. So we're going to make a fundamental choice, okay? And then what we're going to do is set up some primary choices, and that may be the desired outcome or goal, smaller ones that you set up within your structural tension. Now, the key here is the secondary choices. Those are the things that we do even if we don't want to do them. That's where the rubber meets the road. So Mark Twain says the only way to keep your health is to eat what you don't want, drink what you don't like, and do what you'd rather not. Because I know everyone who's had a weight problem can relate to the fact that I I wish I could eat anything I want and not gain a pound. Has anybody ever said that before?
No, none of us have. Ever.
No.
No.
We know that that's just not the case. And, you know, one of the stories that Dr. A talks about in the book Habits of Health, which is so powerful, is the story of the little boy who wanted to be a concert pianist. And he was about 12 years old, and his dream was to be a concert pianist. And when you're 12 years old, the last thing you want to do is practice the piano. But in order to make that dream come true, or the fundamental choice come true, the thing he has to do is make the primary choice to practice and the secondary choice of which time am I going to practice, which day am I going to practice, how long am I going to practice for. And so when the other little boys come knocking on his door and say, Johnny, can you come out and play? He's made the fundamental primary and secondary choices that allow him to say, no, I can't go out and play. I have to practice for 45 minutes because it's Tuesday, and that's the secondary choice that I've made. Now, what would he like to do? He wants to go and he wants to play. Who wouldn't? But he's willing to do what he can't do right now to get what he wants down the road. And this right there is how people who get healthy and stay healthy, what they do most of the time in their life, how I've kept the weight off for these years is I've had to make, because I made a fundamental choice, I'm off all my medications. I do not want my diabetes to come back, and I want to live a happier, healthier lifestyle, especially now that I'm into my 50s and there's no going back. I mean, you've got to, where the rubber meets the road is when you hit your 40s and 50s and make that choice. And because I love spinning and working out, I get up every morning and I've developed a habit. And the habit that I've developed that works so well is I get my workout clothes on and I am already up, workout clothes, sitting out having my oatmeal before I even half wake up. Half the time I look down and go, oh my gosh, I better go work out. I've got my workout stuff on. So you can make that choice, and choice is what makes it special. And Robert Fritz, who developed our structural tension chart for Habits of Health, that's exactly what he's talking about and why this is so important to make that choice. And know what it is, write it out, work with a health coach if you have one to help you decide what it is that you truly want, and then the primary and secondary choices that are going to get you there.
Exactly. Now, let's go back one more slide. There you go. It's right there. See, there, right there on the right-hand side is what our structural tension is really going to look like. You're taking your current reality and those steps that look like stair steps, and the direction is going up with that arrow toward your goal. So that's what is really important. You make your fundamental choice, really realizing where you're at. You got to have a beginning. You got to have a foundation. You got to have that. Mm-hmm. So recognizing where you're at, being brutally honest with yourself and what you want to do, where you're at, and what you want to accomplish. And then the little stair steps that are up, that are going up, those are the action steps. Those are the things that are going to get you from point A to point B.
Yep.
I just wanted to call that out. So go ahead.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing, Rick, you've had your weight off for several years. And of course, most of our clients, that's their desired goal, is not to go on another diet, temporarily lose weight, gain it all back. But how do you learn to keep it off? And I think for myself, and I think you can attest to this, that you have to, once you reach a goal and reach a desired outcome, you have to set a new one up.
Exactly. And that's really important. But in the beginning, we set those goals so as the foundation, like you talked about, building a house. That is the foundation, and then we work from that. So you get, let's say, 30 days from here, you set your goal. 30 days from here, you've reached your goal. Okay, you've got those little action steps. You've created those healthier habits, and that it's time to rewrite the structural tension chart. Throw that one out. You've already accomplished those goals. Make another one, or save it so that you can go back there and see what you did successfully. Because, this is going to be an ongoing thing. This changes every month. This may change a couple of times a year. I don't know. It's individual.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And don't you think that's where diets differ from the habits of health? It's not a temporary ending state.
This is where you're creating health. This is above and beyond a diet. This is where this is the important part of Take Shape for Life. This is really getting with your health coach, designing this for yourself, and moving forward. Absolutely. I believe that. I do believe exactly what you said, the fact that this is where we are so much more than a diet.
That's right. Well, and if we look down here, and I think this was taken from Dr. A himself after he had been at a healthy weight, you know, he has a 1-year goal, and the time frame for the goal is up to the individual. You can do it by the month. Heck, you can do it by the week if you want. You can do it by the year or 6 month or 3 month, whatever you feel will give you the most tension, structural tension to move you forward. So Dr. A has down here, his current reality is I've just reached my healthy weight and I'm walking more. So this is after. A lot of people ask, what do you do after you get to a healthy weight? Well, what you're going to do is he has an optimal fitness goal. I'm fit with great aerobic stamina, 14, he's very specific here. Notice the specifics, 14% body fat, lean muscle, plenty of flexibility and agility, and the ability at 55 to do all the things I could do at 25. Well, that's a great lofty goal, isn't it? That's awesome. And if you knew Dr. Anderson, you see he's met that goal very well. So he's got a foundational component is that he wants an active lifestyle. That's the foundation that this goal is going to get him. And his primary choice is that he's going to be adding muscle to be more flexible and to do the things he wants to do. So the secondary choices or the action steps for adding the muscle, then that's where you get into the specifics of your fundamental and primary choices. So what's he going to do? He's going to do weight resistance and training. And he doesn't just put down there. See the difference between I'm going to do weights? He's much more specific than that. Weight resistance training 2 times a week beginning in month 3. So, and well, he may start with walking 10 minutes a day for 2 weeks. Then he's going to add walking 30 minutes a day beginning in week 3. Then he's going to stretch daily and light calisthenics and light weightlifting beginning in month 2, and then he's going to do the weight resistance training 2 times a week beginning in month 3. So he has the time frame laid out and the specifics of the action steps so that he can have his primary goal, and his fundamental component is he wants an active lifestyle, but he wants to add muscle as his primary choice or goal. So once you understand the power of doing this, then you will always have a way to move forward with your health and either maintain, ultra health. Read the book. It's not about optimal health. He goes all the way to ultra health. And ultra health, of course, is determined by not just your waist circumference, your weight, your body measurements, but all the key numbers in your body, like your blood sugar, your blood pressure, your triglycerides, and all of that stuff. And when all of those numbers are in tune, then you reach ultra health, which is really, if you have that set as your goal, you might not ever arrive to it, but if you can at least get optimally healthy for the age that you're at, then you will at least have achieved something. So, in summing up, what we've talked about here, one of the ways that you can harness these habits and one of the things that you can do along the way to help prevent you from eating foods that don't support your either fundamental choice or your primary reason why, or fundamental reason why and your primary choice, is a tool I use all the time. And I want to go over this real quickly because I use this every day and I don't even know it. It's become a habit. And it's stop, challenge, choose. I love this. So here you go. What the first thing you do is you have a trigger, a negative feeling, or you're in an unhealthy environment, like Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, whatever it is. You've got a whole family full of people over and there's food everywhere. So you've got it. It triggers. Oh, you know what? I really love that cheesecake. I want a piece of that cheesecake. So what you can do, and you get really good at this over time, is you want to stop before you eat anything off plan, and you want to stop and center yourself physically and mentally. And the way to do that immediately is take a deep breath in and out. Stop the action. Suspend the action. And then in your own head, challenge yourself. And when you're real clear on your fundamental reason why, and you know what your why is, you will ask yourself, how come I'm feeling this way? And what is the outcome I want? So you're not focused on what you can't have. You then again turn to focusing on your desired outcome and what you truly want. And if eating that piece of cheesecake or whatever is going to get me what I really want in the long haul, chances are the answer to that is no. And so then what you do is, I tell my clients, leave the area where the food is. Obviously, don't stand there and stare at it all night. Leave the room. Make a healthy choice. And your optimal response, alternative behavior, and awareness are what you're going to gain when you overpower that. And the more, it's like anything else, like a muscle that you use. The more time that you use it, and this whole thing really only takes about a minute. You know, you stop, challenge, choose. And all of us have done this. And we recommend it for all of our clients because it's a very simple, easy to understand, powerful tool. When enacted over and over, the compound effect over time will get you to where you want to be, which is your fundamental reason why you began the whole journey to begin with. So this is a real powerful way to harness your habits of health. So the last thing I want to say and leave you with is one of the most sublime experiences we can have is to wake up feeling healthy after we have been sick. And I know that feeling. And so you think about what, you know, have you made your fundamental choice to be healthy and happy? And if you have, what steps have you taken towards that? So thank you for having me on tonight.
Carolyn, no problem. I love it when you present. I've heard you speak before, and this is really an honor. And Metzi, thank you so much for sharing your story. You know, I just kind of want to wrap up here just a little bit, and the fact that next week we're going to be looking at chapter 4. We're gonna kind of finish up with healthier choices. But you know, right, wrong, or indifferent. Right, wrong, or indifferent, you're making a choice in your health every day. And if you use the stop, challenge, and choose, you will make a positive choice in your health. And so, Carolyn, thank you. You're right. This is got to be one of the best presentations, because as it makes everyone realize that you can move through and move over and get healthy. So yes, we're going to be on chapter 4 next week. Thank you, Charlotte, for reminding me. So chapter 4 next week in the Dr. A's Habits of Health.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Metzi.
Oh yes, thank you. Oh, sorry, she's still muted, but she can wave. With that, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, same time next week on Tuesday. So everyone take care, and thank you for showing up. Have a great one.
Thank you.
Oh no, thank you. Bye-bye.